Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today this reading is going to be on the future of the GOP, and especially, well, under the caveat of how's it going to go for them. I'm going to use a grand tableau and look at the next 9 years and see, the future of this grand old party. Since they've gotten behind Donald Trump with his, like Stop the Steal and the big lie. This question was brought to me by Jewel. So hi Jewel, thanks for the focus of how to read on them with your question. Thank you. And I also want to let you guys know I have, I think, 4 or 5 videos that I've done on the GOP previously, and it didn't look good. It always looked to me like they were committing suicide, but I want to use this grand tableau and see exactly how it's going to play out, if I can get that. Okay, so I'm going to drop the camera down and get started. Okay, so 9 years of the grand old party. Let's see how it goes. Don't know if we'd all call it the grand old party anymore in reality. Man. But anyway, of course, since this Stop the Steal and the big lie and they've gotten behind Donald Trump, I've decided to assign the man card as Donald Trump and the woman card as the grand old party, the GOP. Whew. Let's see how it goes for them. What is the future of the GOP? Okay. Oh, yep. Something's wrong. Okay, let me get the cards laid out and then I'll talk you through this. And I have to remember to put a timestamp in there so you didn't have to sit through me drawing all the cards. But usually it tends to come out around, tends to take me about, 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, something like that. Goodness, I've got... Oh, it's clamped from my cell phone falling here. There it goes. Okay, just let it fall. Don't need it right now. There's the woman card. Man's up here, yeah. Okay, and I obviously am going to have to move these cards up further, so let's do that right now. Let's see. I think it'll work out well this way. Okay. The pitfalls of trying to fit a grand tableau, and I'm in the camera frame when I have my tripod up as far as it can possibly go. Okay, so First thing we want to do is read the four corners because it's going to frame in the, give us a frame for the entire message. Let's see, I'll have to look. Oh yeah, I think you can see those well enough. Actually, let me move this up just a little. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then I'll talk you through, I'll let you know which cards are in which houses when I get there. Okay, so with the four corners, we have the crossroads, a path, with the fox, the coffin, and the clover. So, the meaning there, with the crossroads, we're dealing with choices. You know, they've made their choices to get behind. Another one of the key words with the Crossroads card can sometimes be a distraction. They've decided to get behind the distraction of Donald John Trump, who shows up here. Man. And the card that's hanging over this is the bear, which is a bully, which can be the bully card. Not always, but in this situation, I believe it's the bully card. And the sun can be an overblown ego card. So they've decided, because remember, the way a grand tableau works is that the cards at the top weigh down on the cards on the bottom. So these cards over, you know, whatever card is above has control over the ones below. So we're talking about his overblown ego that has had a control over social media here with the garden and park card. And they've chosen this like alternate reality, these alternate facts. You know, the big lie, the stop the steal. And that's further reiterated up here with the fox, because they've chosen to align with the lies. You know, the fox is all about lies. It's all about something's wrong. It's a fraud. It's about being a fraud. It has to do with being blackmailed even. It has to do with someone who has a hidden agenda and is a con artist, you know, excuse me, grifter, Donald John Trump. So, bringing it over here to the next corner, and the cross is right next to the coffin. The coffin card here in the corner says that their choice to align with Donald John Trump is wrong, and it will literally end. I guess the short answer here is it will end, it will kill the party due to this risk that they took to get in bed or get on board with this opportunist. With I don't always read the clover card that way, but this time that's what came through for me. It was an opportunity for them to make a different choice, opportunity for a different choice. We read these cards together, but they decided to, their decision was to get on board with the grifter. So let's see, and this decision card, this choice card, this crossroads that the party is actually at, is in the house of man. That's Trump, because I assigned his card to be the man, or I assigned the man card to be him. He is in the house of tree, and the tree card has to do with the karma that the grand old party is occurring right now. And I would say come 2022 to 2024, in those 3 years, you know, 2022, 23, and 24, I would say that because the USA is having, because we'll be having our Pluto return, and we have to remember that, you know, our the foundation of our so-called democracy was founded on slave traders, slave owners, and we've got a price to pay for that, or a change, an evolution that needs to occur from that. And Trump and all of his cronies, especially Mitch McConnell, you know that they had past lives. I'm sure that he's had a past life as, autocratic dictator, whatever, Mussolini, Nero, Caligula. All my wise friends who have their own YouTube channels have called that out, and many of you viewers, I really appreciate that input. They all have, these people have karma, tree karma, by aligning with him and by perpetuating, literally now it's called the big lie, but perpetuating the darkness that the USA brought in to heal. So it's perfect that because Pluto is like the soul of America is going through many things that it needs to go through in order to heal. So we're all witnessing that and holding space for that. So, more things about the tree. It has to do with the system. The tree is all about the system. Imagine a big giant oak tree or any large tree that has a taproot, and then it has all the other roots going out around to hold it in place. But imagine how much water it takes up. Imagine how much energy it sucks up. That's Trump, sucking up all the energy. He's just like a big fat energy whore that sucks all the energy out of the party, and that is exactly what he's done. There just may as well have been a vampire card in this to go with my little deck. Oh, here it is. This card may as well have been up there in his position, because that's what he is. He's a vampire. So, where's the tree card? Right here. Tree is in the house of heart. Yes, the heart of the GOP that pumps, the blood into the system of the GOP is aligned with this vampire. And so if I go with the cards around him, and he lands smack dab in the middle of this top row, so we can see that he has control over the GOP, and they've given their power to him. And the card that represents the GOP I assigned for the woman card, and she lands in the house of Stork, meaning that there's going to be some great changes. Now, remember, I assigned this to be for 9 years, so 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By 2028, the big change is going to come in. Well, there's definitely the burden for change. And the cross card being taking self-responsibility, the cross you come in to bear, the cross you bring in to bear in each lifetime. Well, in this lifetime of the USA, we'll be at about 246 years old by the time the first hit of the Pluto return begins, and we will go through a death experience in order to clear this out. A painful death experience. We're going to have to. I don't know if we'll have a civil war. I might have to use some other cards to determine something like that, or just do another reading as we get closer, of course. This reading is going to serve as something that we can keep, going back and referring to. Oh, goodness. Anyway, let's focus on the cards around him. So it's it's widespread, with the stars card here being in the house. This is a widespread issue within our government. The government is represented by the Tower card, which I always say is very, very different than the Tower in the Tarot. The Tower card means the institution of our government, and it's in the house of clouds. So there's darkness within our government now, and that's what we're dealing with. It's confusing, it's sad, it brings a very uncertain future. And Donald John Trump is right in the middle of that. So because of this intention, stars card intention, for them to align, to be loyal to, with the dog card here, and his loyalties lie with foreign adversaries, with Russia and Saudi Arabia and, Netanyahu over Israel and anybody else that can serve to give him whatever he wants. His loyalties lie with them, and that's what they're in bed with. So this worldwide web of foreign influence is where Donald John Trump's foundation lies. Without telling you the name of all the cards, I'm telling you what they mean. And it's dark. And this could also be like Trump Tower or the Trump Incorporated. And it's dark. And it's hidden. And lots of things are hidden that, we know about it. Anybody who's been watching my channel since I started doing readings on him, we know that he's betrayed us. It's the meaning of the House of Snake. So hidden betrayals. The book card could also serve as our Constitution, and he has betrayed our Constitution, and the GOP, getting behind him, has done the same. They have betrayed our Constitution. So, having the flowers bouquet card in the House of Clover and next to the fox tells me that there are, gifts that have been given to these people who are loyal to him, and they've also received gifts from other countries, from Russia. This is why there are so many GOP members who are compromised. Not all of them, of course, but many, many of them. We know who they are. Yeah. So, and it will come out if there's even any more of them too. So yes, I don't have anything more to add with this top row here. I think I've covered it, except for this mirroring. So the cunningness, the slyness, the fraud, the grifting, the scam artist, who is Donald John Trump, it will eventually end. And I've always seen him as having health issues that take him out, and that's especially reiterated right here. I don't see him making it to 2024 even, for entertainment purposes only. But his card landed in the House of Tree, which is also health. Besides karma, it's your brain. And it's health, it's your DNA, it's what you're grounded in. And he's literally grounded in something that's wrong and dark, and it's very rigid. And yeah, and it's just, and I'm going to read the stars card a different way and just say he's out there. He's just Looney Tunes out there. And that's further reiterated here, having the moon card with his lunacy. And then the fox, the House of Fox is right under him. And and the ring card. So this shows his commitments that are just wrong. He's committed to the wrong people. He's committed to overseas loyalties. He's committed to foreign loyalties. And it may come out, well, yeah, the secret will be revealed because the mice card is right here diagonally to the book card. And it's also going to reveal the GOP members who have, you know, changed and gone to the bad side. Yeah. Okay, so more with Mr. Flump here. What he really cares about, because the heart card here knights over to him, what he really cares about is just being in charge, having the keys, being in charge, you know, online with the stars, having the intention to be the guy that holds the key that opens, you know, all the doors that he wants to open and go to. But how this affects the GOP is the most important part, or what this reading is all about. So, key members who have officially tied themselves to Trump, that will be revealed because we've got the mice card here, and in the house of Bear, no less, which is him being, you know, the bully, and being the man-child who has just sunk down, like hunkered down, and he's not going to move from what he wants and how he demands loyalty. He demands a commitment ring card to be loyal to him. That's been his MO. That's why he fired Comey in the beginning. And you know, this is how mob bosses behave. Yeah. So, but there will be loss. There will be loss to the GOP because they have aligned underneath, you know, this fraud and allowed him to have control. So the health of the party is toxic. The mice card is all about, you know, they're under the alignment of the toxic bully. And I mean, it just, again, both of these cards, when it comes to the fox and the mice, we're dealing with fraud, we're dealing with scam artists, we're dealing with thieves that steal things and, you know, eat away. With mice especially, like eats away at you. So the commitment to him is absolutely going to eat away at the party itself. And by 9 years or less, could be less because this card came out as with the coffin, came out as one of the framing cards, you know, one of the four corners. 9 years or less from now, it could end. It could end it as we know it, or just completely be gone, and it's more like the Democratic Party and an independent party or something. You know what I mean? I mean, we definitely need two parties to keep each other in check, right? But this is going nowhere fast, I think. So let me see. Let me make sure I'm done with everything around him. So yeah, he has control over the party and the commitment, but you know, it's all very, very toxic, and it's not going anywhere. And he's the, you know, the lunatic. Yeah, we've got the lunatic in the house of mice. So loss and destruction because of the lunatic, because of their commitment to the lunatic. And their biggest obstacle is because of the choice they made. And it knights over here to the ship, which tells me that because of the choice they made, the biggest obstacle is because of their own foreign ties. And the House of Ship, like the enterprise of the GOP, is headed in the wrong direction. And so it's key to remember that. The House of Key has everything to do with opening and closing doors. It's a yes card. It's the most important card. It has to do with solutions. But why do we have the foreign adversaries, sailing away, and the journey that they're about to go on, headed in the wrong direction, and because it's headed back, and it's, why would the solution be to be tied to a foreign country? And that's where they've hitched their wagon to. And the fish card here is telling me that a lot of them have done that. And a lot of them have abused the Constitution. So the abuse, repetitive abuse, the whipping things up is in the House of Sun. The Sun would be their success. So the only success they're going to have is that they're going to have a battle on their hands that is blocking them. And remember, this is Trump, all this weighing down on them, but they've decided to do that. It's really interesting that his card landed right smack dab in the middle and the top. So it has control over all of this. But for this year, for 2021, what we're going to see is more of, with the scythe, there's more danger because of the betrayal. This is only for the GOP. This, we're going to be fighting it, but it is a bit, there's so much. If you saw my grand tableau that I did on the Arizona recount, we got clearly that, I don't want to, no spoiler alerts here. So, if you haven't seen it yet, please watch that because a lot of shocking things came out there. But we can see that, the betrayal is definitely there. And with the snake card, it brings in the, major detours, major complications, something very toxic, just like with the mice here. And the snake being in the House of Scythe, so combining those two meanings, this is like, we have to be very careful. They have to be very careful. There's danger from an enemy. And, dangerous like rivals that could just come in and bite and take you out. And that's what they're loyal to because it knights over here to the dog. And it being in the House of Scythe, that makes it even more dangerous. And it could be something very sudden this year. Now, the bear card can also be Russia, and it's in the House of Tower. So it's like our government is being, or the GOP is being bullied by Donald Trump here, who's very dark, and it's with the House of Clouds that Tower card is in. Yeah, it's not good. It's like because he's the boss over them, and it shouldn't be that way. It should never have been that way. He should not have that much power. No president should ever have that much power. But, it has to do with money, because, it's the bear. It has to do with money. They don't think that they have anything without him. This is how weak the GOP is at this point, is that he's been the best they could do for the last 5 years, and they're trying to make it, happen for 2024 with him, because they have nothing better to offer than a grifter, than a con artist, than someone who is in bed with Russia and has been all this time and for, 20 years prior to that. He's been in bed with Russia since the 80s. What am I saying? 40 years. Not 20, it's 40. God. Oh. Okay, so 2021 is going to be, with the GOP, just more of them, being in that place where something's wrong. They've made decisions to get in alignment with the con artist, the snake that Donald Trump is, and it's all because they've made the choice to have his protection and his money and his power, because they've got nothing better going on. 2022 looks like for them that there could be some surprises, there could be some gifts that come through to their foundation, repetitive gifts. Oh, Freudian slip there. Repetitive grifts. I'm going to stick with that. Repetitive grifts that come in through the foundation that they, that is the foundation of the RNC. But something will be revealed. Okay, then the sun is in the house of the garden. Something's going to be revealed on social media about the GOP and their long time lack of purity. Their long time, because Lilies is in the house of Mountain, their long time connections with enemies, and Mountain is in the house of, they chose a path. They chose to do that. So I think what's going to come out in 2023 is, and before that even, it's already out, but there's going to be major confirmation around how they changed and they got in bed with Russia, and that's going to come out through social media even more than it has already. Yeah. So in a weird way, it might turn out to be that there's change that creates more peace, because it's out into the open who has aligned with the foreign powers. Those GOP members, Mitch McConnell, who else? Jim Jordan, Louis Gohmert, Devin Nunes. I mean, there's so many of them, I can't even remember. But you guys can fill it in. And then we have to remember, and you guys have given me so many comments I so appreciate the comments as to the GOP members who went to Russia on July 4th in 2018. And of course they went there and got even more compromised. And there were 8 of them then, and then later on there was another 7. So yeah, so those names are there in the comments. But okay, so 2023, by 2024, it's going to be revealed how wide this web of this dangerous enemy, and how sunk down it is into the money, because the card of money, which is the fish, is in the house of Moon. And it's like this creative endeavor. So, and the Moon is in the house of mice, for stealing. How long it's been going on. That's going to start coming out 2023, 24. The parties, the guilty parties, are going to be revealed even further over the next couple of years. So this is what these 3 columns here, this is what the Pluto return is going to look like. It's going to whip up the dangerous enemies from within, and show where their loyalties lied and how they've lied. And so it's going to be the end of a lot of those people, these GOP members. Because no one's going to vote for them when all this stuff comes out. You know, of course, there's always going to be that small percentage of these, you know, diehard, cult members, you know, who's their dear leader. Goodness. Okay. So 2025 is going to show even more of, you know, who's loyal, who's committed, who committed to be in on the grift, the lie, the big lie, the stop the steal, all of that. It's just, it's not going to get any more real than by 2025. It's all this is going to be out. And then I think from there, for 2026, 27, 28, and 29, there's going to be some lessening of their power and their control. Like the health of the GOP, because this would be the GOP, this would be, but this could be our whole government institution, and then the mice would show that something is lessened and taken away, and the health of the party maybe has a new endeavor, a new enterprise, if I read the ship card in a different way other than foreign influence, because that's how these systems work. You know, you can read the cards on different meanings. You can assign 2 or 3 different meanings depending on which way you're focusing in on the, you know, which angle you're focusing in on. So yeah, so it's the health of the party is going to be minimized, and but it's going to be revealed. The guilt will be revealed. Guilty parties will be revealed. The guilt of the GOP, and it will change things, massively change things, and probably improve things for the better, I would think. This would be, you know, jobs changing, people going in and out. Let's see if we have midterms 2022, 2020, well, that would be a general election 2024, 2026, by 2028, yeah. Things are going to be moving into a better place. But the key, you know, answer here is there will be an intention to cut ties and to remove any immature people, yeah, who have taken money, who have taken foreign money, and there's going to be a removal of commitments. A removal of commitments to anyone who committed to, you know, the grift, the big lie, the big steal, Donald John Trump. Yeah. And, yeah, and anyone who is caught up in that darkness, anyone who is disloyal to the Constitution, because clouds nights over to the book. And remember, I signed the book card to be the Constitution, the letter of the, you know, the words on the page. Oh my goodness. And the power of the word that we have to be loyal to. So, by 2029, the confusion will end, and votes will be, maybe voting will be for sure by then, oh, I hope it happens way before, I would hope that the votings are by, oh yeah, the letter. So letter in the House of Letter, that's great. Letter card to me is a votes. It's also documents. This could be the documents of the really important document of the Constitution. And if it is about voting, because of course I can read this on different, have different meanings. If it's about the vote, by then maybe we're a completely, paper ballots only, one person, one vote. There's that possibility by then. And I say that because the writer brings good news about the vote. And something dangerous has been removed. Because the scythe can be like the instrument. So this could be the instrument of the Constitution that is key. So good, important, widespread across the USA decisions that help us vote the way it should be, so that we're all included, so nobody's standing in line, so that there is no, who knows, maybe even the gerrymandering and redistricting would maybe there could be that independent commission they're talking about creating. I'll do a separate reading. I have it on my list to do a separate reading on if DC will become a state, its own state. Because there are many things that can happen to shift everything. We just have to remember this spread is on the GOP only. So I think that there's going to be some key decisions that will move in the direction so that there's no obfuscation or darkness around, it will end the darkness around the vote. And then there will be some new opening, I think, new opportunity. This is a happy outcome card after this painful death here. And I love that it's right underneath the card that reveals the voting. The birds here, the owls, just reveal, and that's in the House of Anchor, that there'll be lots of talking about it, more communication, new communications, a lot of new communications because the child is in the House of Fish. Fish represent a lot of new communications that will improve things. That will be very, I don't know, what's a word for fortuitous? Is what I just heard. It's so weird. I hear words that don't normally come out of my mouth. Okay, so this commitment to cut through this, I'll say it again, bullshit that we've all been going through. It's going to come down the line, and it will lead to the way the voting happens. This rider card can also be mail delivery. It can be any kind of delivery. So there's a decision around the way the vote is delivered. Yeah, there's a commitment, a decision to uphold the Constitution and move towards that. That would be great. If there's still voting, on any type of way that it's connected to online, there's going to be some new security that happens around it. Because to have this card of responsibility hanging over the house, that rules the internet, and intention, combined with the key card, it's going to end the ability to mess with. We're going to have securities in place. But I don't see it's going to be good for the GOP moving forward. And if we just go with just these 4 cards at the corners, there's going to be, like I said, a decision to end this scam artist and everything that's wrong, and then there'll be a new opportunity coming in after that. So let me check just before I close up to see if I have missed anything. Yeah, well, I'm just drawn to the coffin card, having the ending, the painful ending, and the and the guilty, painful ending right here, being in the house of bouquet. So the guilt and the lack of self-responsibility will end, and then the painful ending will, I think, deliver a good outcome, even though it's going to be very painful for them to go through. This can be, because the bouquet has to do with recovery often, it can be recovery after this painful ending. And the bouquet card landed here in the House of Clover, which is, it's an opportunity. So it could change and go a better way if they get out from underneath him, but I think they're going to have to experience. It's like my dear friend over at Foolish Tarot, she says, let go or be dragged. And when she said that, I'm like, oh, that's a Pluto transit. So this Pluto return that we're headed towards is, basically we need to let go of the GOP controlling the United States of America anymore, or we're going to be dragged through the mud. So, the choice is here. And it's further reiterated here that it is very important to make that decision to move towards one person, one vote, maybe getting rid of the Electoral College, key laws that maybe some amendments that can happen for to the Constitution. But election protection is what needs to happen. Yeah. So, okay, well, I'm going to close this up and get this uploaded for you guys, and I hope everyone's doing well. Okay, bye.